Talk to me
Yeah.
about that move to Vegas, and kind of there was an interesting story that came afterwards as well with a friend, but and
Yeah.
sort of business partner, but yeah, walk us through those next two steps, and then let's dive into Loft 6 4 for sure.
Sure, sure. So yeah, take this job in Vegas. I was still single, but I was dating a girl at the time, who ended up being my wife. Uh, you know, she didn't like the fact that I was moving down there, and that made the distance kind of hard. But took the job. It was the right job. Just anything full time, honestly, at that point. But I had aspirations that I thought, everyone down there is going to work on the casinos. You're going to get to do all this creative work. Well, we ended up doing a lot of interesting projects, but none of it was casino based or resort based. So always wanted that type of work, and just I worked there for about 3.5 years. I ended up getting married to this girl too, and she moved down with me, and we were down there for about 3.5 years. But learned so much, just even about business. Like I was thinking, I'm going to own my own
Mm,
business at some time. I'd always thought of that in school, so I would pay attention to all that kind of stuff at this firm. And my boss there, just he was, as I look back now, I still refer to the things that he did. Um, Inspirational things, and also just things the way he did business, and I even
mm,
practice that now, which obviously we'll talk about a little more as far as Loft 6 4. But gained a lot of experience there. And then within a few years my wife was pregnant with our first, and she wanted to get back. She was from Salt Lake, and so was I. And so I should say I was from Tooele, right, which is a small town that you referenced. But we wanted to get back, mostly her, to be honest. And I was a little bored at this firm, and so started talking to my friend. I had talked to him actually before I moved to Vegas, and he had started a firm but wasn't quite ready. And so I put together this graphic workshop with a guy that had taught me a lot, and did that in Vegas, and invited him to come. And we got talking, and he's like, "Hey, you know how you mentioned possibly teaming up? I could use your help if you're interested." And 2 weeks later, we packed everything up, moved
wow.
back to Salt Lake. Like, it just made sense. It made sense from, at least ambitiously, right? Financially, it did not make sense because we left a house. It was the bottom. It was the
Mm,
market 2007, when just the bubble burst, right? And so
mm,
we had to rent our house for a year and a half, losing a lot of money on it, even renting it. But in-laws let us live in their house when we moved back, and just kind of partnered up with my buddy at the time, and worked with him for about 5.5 years, until my wife reminded me one day, "Hey, you always said you're going to do your own thing." And there was a moment there where it just kind of made sense as well. And so, honestly,
mm,
within maybe there's just this pattern of a couple weeks, but when things are right, I don't hesitate to make a decision. So a
yeah.
week or two after she reminded me, the fact that she was comfortable with it and that I was thinking about doing that, she was just like, "I think you should go for it." And so told
Mm.
my partner. We were literally a week or maybe even days away from inking a deal officially for me to be a partner with him. And um, I moved on, started Loft 6 4.
Interesting.